Surrey Centre is about to get a whole lot bigger. Ani Group just got approval for the biggest single development this city has ever seen, right in the heart of city centre. But the thing is, some people don't believe it's really gonna happen. Want to know why? In this video, I'm going to walk you through what just got approved and what over 2,700 new homes over the next 30 years means for buyers and sellers. So the site sits right at 105th Avenue and 132nd Street on about 9.1 acres. It's replacing four 1970s low-rise buildings that locals around here know as Regency Gardens. We have 12 buildings in total. There are 7 high-rises going up to 48 stories and then 5 mid-rises around them. When this thing's all said and done, this single block is going to have 2,705 homes plus just under 2,400 square feet of commercial and retail space. Now, this is being built out over 8 phases across 30 to 35 years. Phase 1A is targeting a 2032 move-in with full completion projected around 2060. And we'll be talking more about timeline details for other projects later, so make sure you stick around for that. Third reading was granted in early 2026 after a public hearing that just cleared the major rezoning hurdle. There's no exact number, but industry estimates could put the full build-out cost somewhere between $1.5 and $2.5 billion. Now, I've heard a few realtors and builders out there saying they don't think this is going to happen. Their argument is that construction costs are too high and the market is too soft to support a project this big. I get it, but we're not talking about something that's going to be built and for sale in like a year. The market will be completely different when the first units are ready for occupancy. Developers don't push a multi-year application through public hearings and third readings for nothing. And Ani is one of the biggest private developers here in BC, headquartered right in Vancouver. And in April 2026, they also reached a deal to pick up the old Hudson's Bay flagship building in downtown Vancouver through a receivership sale. So that's a company stockpiling assets at the bottom of a soft market. And the location of this site is kind of what ties everything together, because this block isn't getting 12 towers all on its own. It's getting a brand new neighborhood built around it, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. But first, a quick heads up, if you're thinking of buying, selling, or just trying to figure out what this means for your property, the link in the description is the fastest way to get on my calendar. Reach out to us anytime, and we can help with any questions you might have. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, so Surrey City Centre has been transforming for years now, but you know, a lot of Metro Vancouver still hasn't really clued in. You've already got 2 SkyTrain stations within walking distance of the Ani site. That's the Gateway Station and the Surrey Central Station, both on the Expo line. But the bigger news is what's coming next. The Surrey Langley SkyTrain extension is under active construction right now. It's a 16-kilometer extension running along Fraser Highway with 8 brand new stations. And as of spring 2026, the guideway is already over 30% complete, and completion of the new line is expected late 2029. The thing is, from the Langley Centre to King George Station, you're going to take about 22 minutes. And to downtown Vancouver, you're looking at roughly an hour. So the new SkyTrain takes people east and west, and that makes the Ani site one of the most connected pieces of the land in the entire Lower Mainland. And the city has been pushing density to match. Under provincial housing legislation, sites within walking distance of SkyTrain stations no longer have minimum parking requirements, and they also allow higher density. So the Ani site is what's called a Tier 3 transit-oriented area, which is kind of why the project is hitting the density it is. And right next door, Surrey Council approved a plan back in October 2025 to build a 10,000-seat arena, plus a hotel and a galleria tying the whole package together. The city's putting in almost $200 million into the arena through their 2026 to 2030 capital plan. And right next to the arena site, you've got the $65.5 million expansion of the Chuck Bailey Recreation Center. That one's already under construction, with completion expected late 2027, early 2028, relatively soon. And SFU's brand new School of Medicine, that's Western Canada's first new medical school in almost 60 years, is opening at SFU Surrey this August 2026. But before we move on to what all this means for the real estate market, you have to know that Ani isn't the only major project happening in this zone. West Group has a 4-story master plan called Civic District going up on the old Safeway site with a public hearing that just happened last month. Century Group's Century City Hall and Park is already partially completed at King George Station, and Surrey City Development Corporation is delivering over 2 million square feet of office, civic, and institutional space right beside the SkyTrain. Every single one of these projects is happening within walking distance of the others. So that's a big bet, all in the same few square kilometers. And it's going to change the city a lot more than people realize. All right, so here's what all this means for you. The Fraser Valley is still firmly in a buyer's market right now. The sales to active listings ratio was at 11% in April of 2026, which is just under the line that defines a balanced market. Condos have been the softest part of the market. The benchmark price for an apartment in North Surrey, which includes a city center, came in around the low to mid 400s in April 2026. Meanwhile, pre-sale concrete in city center is running roughly $800 to $950 per square foot for new construction. So that's a real gap between resale and pre-sale. That means that if you're thinking about jumping into a pre-sale of the Ani project or one of the other ones around there, you've got to model that premium very carefully. You'll be paying tomorrow's prices today with completion many years down the road. Now, absorption. That's the piece most people get wrong on a project of this size. 2,705 homes sounds like a tidal wave that's going to crush the local values, but staggered across the build-out, you're looking at staged delivery, not a one-time supply shock. So each completed phase tends to push values up in the surrounding blocks because, you know, new infrastructure, new amenities, and new foot traffic follow the new residents in. Now, here's the risk that's not going to show up in any of the marketing. If you buy into phase 1A in 2032, you're going to be living through 28 more years of active construction right outside your window. So that's a lifestyle factor for sure. And it's a resale factor too, because every new phase brings fresh pre-sale competition for anyone trying to sell their unit down the road. So you want to understand that piece before you sign anything. So is City Centre a buy zone right now, or is this more of a wait and see? Well, here's how I look at it. Inventory has come off its peak in North Surrey. Condo sales were down around 30% year over year in April 2026, and demand has cooled. That being said, that's typically the kind of setup that comes right before a price recovery. Also, BC REA's latest forecast projects BC home sales to recover in 2027 as pent-up demand returns. So if you're a buyer, this is the kind of window where you see the good deals are still out there, but they're getting picked off faster than they were 6 months ago. We're starting to see a lot more sold stickers on the signs around the neighborhoods, and the better price listings are moving in a week or two instead of just sitting. And if you're a seller, here's the harsh truth. This is not the market to leave room for negotiation. You've got to price sharp, present sharp, and work with someone that's been through a tough market before. I've been doing this for over 20 years, so I've seen what this looks like. And overpricing right now is the fastest way to chase the market down over the next 90 days. Either way, that's a conversation you've got to be having before you make your next move. We can say the future looks exciting, but only if you really know how to use all this momentum to your advantage. So if you're watching this and wondering whether this changes your buy or sell timeline in Surrey or Langley, don't guess. Reach out via info@moteam.ca and we'll go through your numbers together. We've been doing this over 20 years, so if you choose to work with our team, you'll be in very good hands. But now that you know about all these developments, you should check out this video next. I'll dive into the renovation that will transform Cloverdale. You've got to check it out. All right, thanks for watching. See you again in the next one.